Hey guys, Beeves here, and I've been playing a ton of Final Fantasy 15, and it's awesome. I'm about 10, 11 hours into the game, and I just finally decided to watch the Kingsglaive movie. So I wanted to throw a little beginner thing out here and a mention of when you should actually watch the Kingsglaive movie. If you were like me, I was a little hesitant to watch it because I was scared there were going to be game spoilers. Um, but I didn't know if I should actually watch the movie before the game started or save it till after the game. Because I've heard a lot of people are going to do different things. But in my opinion, the best thing to do is either watch the movie before you start playing or start playing the game until you get to the end of chapter 1, which is just, I feel like, probably about an hour into the game, depending on how much stuff you're doing. But at the end of chapter 1, I feel is the perfect place to watch the Kingsglaive movie. In saying that, at the end of the Kingsglaive movie credits, there is actually a little lead into the game. But knowing how the game started after playing it actually made that scene a little bit more enjoyable, I think. You get a little bit more information as to what happened. So in my opinion, I would watch the Kingsglaive movie right after finishing chapter 1. And then if you just begin starting the game or you haven't started playing the game yet, I just wanted to throw out a few quick tips here. As you know, obviously there is a car that you'll be driving, and the car is kind of on a rail. It's from point A to point B. You can stop the car at any point and get out, which is great. But there are times in the game where you feel like wish you could just drive the car to where you wanted and stop there in case you forget to jump out. If you played a lot of World of Warcraft and you remember flying from checkpoint to checkpoint, that's kind of what it's like driving a car. However, you can get out whenever you want, like I said. And what I would do is kind of get yourself introduced into the side quests. I would not do a ton of side questing until a certain point in the story is unlocked where it says Noctis can now drive whenever he wants. When you initially get the car, you will only be able to drive at night. However, driving the car manually and driving it whenever you want doesn't actually give you the option to drive off the road or anything crazy. So you're always going to be on the street. You're always going to have to stop and get out of the vehicle. So just keep that in mind. The other thing you might want to consider if you're getting really annoyed just about having to run through the desert and everywhere, obviously you probably know at this point that there are chocobos in the game. You will have to progress the story a little bit. But nothing too crazy where you're playing in hours and hours before you get the access to them. But if you are going to do the straight chocobos as early as possible, I feel like you will be too weak if you're only playing the storyline once you get to the chocobos to actually unlock them due to the interesting battle that happens at that point, which is a little bit different. But it is pretty cool. So in saying that, the other great thing about the chocobos, they have a sprint, you can run, you can actually swim over water, and you rent them. So you can call them at any time as long as you have rental time on that, and you'll kind of see if you unlock them. The other thing I wanted to say is fishing. I got a little bit frustrated with fishing, nothing too crazy, but I knew that there was a trophy fish in the first area, and I really wanted to catch it, and I tried catching it over and over again, and it never happened. It was just a little bit too difficult for me. But what you want to do is actually, if you just spend your first day fishing, I can't remember if you want to catch 5 or 6 fish or actually even more than that. But once you do that and you camp, at the end of the day, everybody's skills will level up through what they did during the day. One of your characters taking pictures, Noctis is obviously fishing, one is just exploring the world. But as those skills progress, you actually get things unlocked, and Noctis becomes a better fisher just by getting to level 2, making catching that first trophy fish very simple. Or not simple, but easier. You also want to buy stronger fishing wire and a special bobber to catch that fish. But I like the fishing for some reason. I don't know why. But those are my beginner tips. That's when I think you should watch the movie. So I hope this answers some of those questions if you've been wondering before you start playing the game. I hope that helps. KB signing out.